What's up, replayers? What's up, everybody? Welcome to the house tonight. Where my Forex traders at? Who's in the market? What's up, guys? Just wanted to give a little update. Where's everybody at, man? Where's everybody at? What's everybody up to? Guys, update on the position. Bail Buddy. Kerr, what up? G2VO. Sup. What's up, Bail Buddy? How you guys doing tonight? Listening to some house music. Making some pips up in this beach. So, guys, what's up, player? How you guys doing? So listen, guys, the position we took Friday, we are up 85 pips as of right now on that position. 85. All right, you guys want to see what I'm listening to real quick? Sunset Melodies. If you guys like house music, stuff's good. Let's get back to this position, guys. This is why we're here. Because who doesn't want to make some money, right? Now, check this out, guys. We took a position at 13.18, way up here, okay? And we rode this over the weekend. Of course, this has been an instance where we had this huge spike in volatility caused by the nut jobs at the Fed saying that, hey man, shit ain't all good all over the entire globe, even though they just said that the job status of people in the U.S. was great. Hey, we're going to raise interest rates. Now they're not so sure. And so we have to ask ourselves what happened in that 3-week period. Let me get more of the chart here. What happened in that 3-week period where they changed their mind? And now I discussed this earlier today. We see these huge spikes in volatility all because of the Fed here. Raw, what's up? Guys, please invite some people. The best way that you can give me a high five for doing these scopes is just invite people and heart it up, so I appreciate that. We see these huge spikes. Thanks, Kerr, appreciate it. Bail Buddy, I appreciate it. I'm gonna give you guys a shout out. If anybody invites followers, I will give you guys a shout out. I share the love too, guys. Kerr Major, Bail Buddy, please follow those guys. So the Fed has caused these enormous disruptions in the market, guys, and these are disruptions. People that say that the Fed does not cause volatility, well, all you have to do is look at a simple chart, and anybody can see that the Federal Reserve, or any central bank for that matter, they cause volatility across the currency markets. It doesn't matter what pair you're trading, there will be volatility. A. Diaz, no problem. Thank you for hopping in the room. Jay, welcome. Thank you for joining. So, guys, Friday night I did a scope. Actually, it was Friday afternoon. I did a scope. We took a short position at 13.18 in the Euro USD cross. We are currently at 12.37. So we're staring at a 83 pip gain right here thus far. This is the daily chart that we're staring at in the Euro USD cross. All right. And if you guys have any questions, spit them out, because I just wanted to give an update. When I gave the last update, we were at about 12.45, 12.50. Now we see we're making that move downward into an area of support. We have a lot of buying action around 12.20, guys. 12.20 is where the support could pop into place, could become a factor, because we've seen that being used as a ceiling here. Okay, and then if we look back, there's a lot of price action in this area. All right, so this is about 12.45 to 11.75. In this 50 pip range, we have a lot of buying and selling occurring, and what that indicates is that people are having difficulty in either judging the supply and demand of the Euro USD cross, or what it could also mean is that whenever the price range gets around that area, a lot of funds and a lot of banks are seeing this as an opportunity to risk on or risk off. Now, we may not know exactly why that is, but whenever a fund or bank decides to risk on or risk off, you can bet that it is because of some quantitative factor that has changed in how they are evaluating the currency strengths between Euro USD. And it could be carry trades, or it could be hedging positions that they have in equities. What's going on, LeBoy? Welcome to the room. We're just going over the trade we put on. We're now up 83 pips. 12.38 is the current price of the Euro USD cross live. We're staring at the daily chart. Diego, what's up? Guys, I appreciate the hearts. I appreciate the shares. Feel free to ask a question. No matter how ridiculous you may think it may be, please ask a question. Counter trend trade. What was your basis to take the trade? Excellent question, Jay. My basis on taking the trade was basically because of a programmatic algorithm that I've been experimenting with that utilizes artificial intelligence to establish the trades. So yes, you are correct. But if we're looking at charting, you can see here we've got a double top. Okay, for all you chartists out there, does charting work? Hell yeah, it works. So basically, the algorithm that I coded determined this was a place to take a short, and it does not even look at the charting basics. How reliable is a I saw the end of that. How reliable is the program? It's proven very reliable so far. We're taking at least 300 to 500 pips a week, which is enough, in my point of view, is enough to make you very wealthy. Depending on how much leverage you utilize. Is there going to be a point where any system does not work? You bet. Yet to be determined, LeBoy. I want to sit back and watch it probably at least for another week. But in terms of programmatic trading, is there a point where a program will either not work or cease working? Yes, there will be points where the data that is being used by an algorithm may change, okay? And there may be certain data points that your algorithm uses and places weight on, and they may not be as important over time. So an algorithm must be nurtured, it must be developed. Can you walk through Thinkorswim? Oh, buddy, let me tell you, that would take a few weeks. Thinkorswim, if you guys are looking for a trading platform, Thinkorswim is my most beloved trading platform. It is full of goodies. Even I don't know how to use yet, and I've been using it for about 4 years. So, but I will tell you this. When it comes to options trading, you know, most platforms, you can say they're pretty much the same. But when it comes to options trading, there is no one that can touch Thinkorswim in terms of the platform. No one can touch it. Why is Thinkorswim preferred? Basically, the quantitative ability of Thinkorswim platform for options especially is just heads above everybody else. Heads above everybody else. If you know how to use it, the probability factors that they have programmed into the options section for Thinkorswim are just, you know, platinum level stuff. You know, even Bloomberg doesn't have some of the probability factors that Thinkorswim has in terms of valuation. When you're evaluating options for probability, Thinkorswim is really good. I gotta say that you're probably not gonna find a better platform for options. But in terms of Forex, you know, let me tell you guys, you just need something that's real time. And basically, since I had previously had an account with Thinkorswim, I chose them for my Forex trading. Now, what we see here is we see, like I said, around 1220, we're seeing support already taking place. You can see that my algorithm is starting to say that there's a possibility that we can exit our position here. I'm sorry, I didn't see that. I was too busy looking at the charts. So please comment again. But anyways, guys, you know, I'm just in shock and awe at the lack of volatility occurring between these central bank statements. All of the volatility is occurring either slightly before or immediately after the central bank comes out and says things. And it's not good, guys. In the long term, that is not good. Thinkorswim is effectively a broker. All right, so Thinkorswim is a platform, okay? They were acquired by TD Ameritrade. So if you want to use the Thinkorswim platform, I believe you have to get a TD Ameritrade brokerage account, all right? Might seem a little confusing. It's really not. Basically, TD Ameritrade has an online platform that you can trade through if you're not doing advanced charting, which, you know, I don't recommend that. If you're going to be placing trades without charting, then obviously, I don't know what kind of valuation techniques you're using, but they're probably not that good. What broker do you use? I use TD Ameritrade. I use TD Ameritrade. Gomez, what's up? Welcome to the room. So, guys, in effect, I will update you guys if I decide to. I'm going to watch the charts a little bit longer tonight. I will send an update if I decide to switch positions and go long here. We may see some strength coming into the market. Like I said, right around this position, and actually right here, we're already starting to see some buying come in and support developing. And then also we have support going down to 1217. So between 1217, 1230, there might be a floor developing here, and we could see this reverse, start trending upwards. Commissions based and spreads. I use spreads. I use spread based. You know, basically, you're gonna have to pay to take a trade, whether it's commission based or non-commission FX pairs. So personally, I take the spread, and the reason why I do that is just because I find them to be a little bit more liquid, and it's easier for me to calculate based upon spreads than if there were commissions. However, you would have to evaluate that based on math. Maybe if you're trading some very large lots, there might be a situation where you can negotiate a smaller commission, and in that case, commissions might be cheaper to trade, but you're probably going to be having some really big lots in order to negotiate that. What is the average spread? Well, you can look at the spread. The spread's usually only like a few pennies, because for the most part, every pair is going to be very liquid, guys. The Forex market is the most liquid market in the industry. And actually, after I got off of the last scope, I looked up, last time that I read, all right, so this was like a few years ago when I was looking into liquidity factors in the Forex market, there were about $4 trillion of liquidity being traded in New York on various exchanges for Forex, okay? But now what we see is that there's about $5.5 trillion of currency exchanged in New York on a daily basis, which is pretty crazy when you think about it. If you ever decide, I probably won't be selling anything. That would kind of be like Microsoft selling their bread and butter. If I do decide to do anything with it, it may be SaaS. I may have a software of a service type application for it. If I do a workshop, let you know. Absolutely, Kerr. I don't see that in the near future, but who knows? In the future, if I see a lot of demand somewhere, and there is a lot of demand. I mean, I'm a freak when it comes to this stuff. I breathe Forex on a daily basis, but sometimes you can't say that that's how the rest of the people in the world feel. Obviously, there's a little bit of bias on my part because I love it and I breathe it and I research it every day. However, if I do start seeing that I'm providing value, obviously the demand is there, and so I will supply it. I will find a way to make it affordable for you guys, and at the same time if I make money off of it, it is going to go into research and development to basically kick banks' asses. And that's the way I feel about it. What books do I recommend? You know, it's hard to recommend books because I don't know where you're at in your Forex path, so to speak. But I will say this. When I was beginning, I made the mistake of basically trying to read everything. Okay? You don't want to do that. If I had to go back and do it all over and start studying, the absolute first thing that I would study would be a very basic money management book. Now, unfortunately, most of the books on money management are not for beginners. They have to deal with portfolio theory and stuff like that. However, I would start brushing up on your statistics, especially when it comes to probability analysis. Okay, so very basic statistics, very basic probability, and then go into some studies on charting. Okay, and then some types of studies on quantitative valuation. All right, very big words, but the fact of the matter is that at no point will you feel like you know enough, because even though I can take 300 to 500 pips out of the market every single week with the current system that I am employing, I know for a fact there are 20 or 30 pips that I'm missing here and there. And I could further develop my system to try and grab those 20 or 30 pips, to try and capture that extra little bit of variance in pricing, okay? And you know what? That could be going down to the millisecond, where if I were a hedge fund, I'd be trying to catch the 3 to 5 pips that I'm missing here and there, because I'd be throwing hundreds of millions of dollars at these positions, and 3 pips is enough to send my kids to school for an entire year. So you can always get better. There's always development. Would you say that you need to become would I say that you need basic info? No. Do you feel volume plays a part in today's market? Well, here's the thing. Forex markets are extremely liquid, but there is no centralized market. There is no centralized market for Forex. It's multiple exchanges, and so there's really no way to measure volume directly in a currency pair. There are hacks around it. However, that is one of my secret sauces, and I cannot divulge how I determine that. But I will tell you this: if you study enough in the market, you will see that there are ways that you can find hacks around finding volume in currency pairs. How did I create this program? Good question. I spent about 10 years basically trading different markets, everything from equities to futures to Forex, and I started studying computer programming. And so from that, I determined my own ways of capturing volatility in the markets. It was a very slow, frustrating process, and a lot of people shit on me for my ideas. A lot of people said I was crazy and that this isn't working, you're gambling away your money, all the bullshit. And you know what? That is the resistance that every single person will have to put up with if they're developing anything that has any type of ability to succeed. Okay? If you're developing anything that has merit, people will try to shoot it down, and that's the fact right there. What language is this written in? David, very good question. So basically, I use a language called ThinkScript. This is Thinkorswim's own language. It's very close to C# and Python. So if you have any coding experience, C# and Python, C++, if you're going to be doing any type of coding, start learning that theory. Gig, what's up? So guys, this is the update right here. Would you say it's possible to create a program to auto trade? Click a button, makes money. Yes and no. The problem with anything that you can, you see, this particular program that I have is based on artificial intelligence, which means it learns literally as each tick happens. It is adding that information to a bank of historical data, and it is using those calculations to determine where the price might be changing or where it might be turning around. All right. However, you know what? If I wanted to make this into an automated system, I could let it trade and go to the gym or go to the store and pretend like I am not in the market. And guess what? If there was a mistake, and let me tell you, they do happen with the brightest minds. You can look up night trading, okay? Night trading. As a matter of fact, I will do the story for you. Night trading was basically a quantitative broker, and they had money, they had market makers, so they were a market maker, and they traded extremely large lots of pretty much everything. All right? And if you know the story, Knight Capital, they had a glitch in their computer system where a programmer uploaded a bit of code, and basically what happened was they had a glitch in their system. Now, I'm going to show you how much money they lost, and you've got to keep in mind that they lost this money in less than a few hours. Okay, you ready to see this? Figures a pop-up comes. It's not the baby. Okay, not the baby. Knight Capital says trading glitch cost $440 million. Now I want you to see how much they lost. $10 million a minute. $10 million a minute they were losing because of this trading glitch that was basically trading. There was a loop in their code that was done wrong, and they uploaded it to a live server, and they had several servers that were executing different types of code, but because this one trading strategy had a glitch, it was trading shares very rapidly regardless of price because someone forgot to close a loop in the code, which is a very stupid coding mistake, and they should have tested it prior to uploading it, but for whatever reason, and I'm sure they did test it, these guys are very smart. They did not. They had to go through a merger. They had to borrow money. And I believe they're still trying to bounce back from this one day. And actually, it wasn't even a day. It was like 4 hours. So they lost $440 million in like 4 hours. All right? Now, let me tell you. These guys are not idiots. They're not. As a matter of fact, a guy, when I was a personal trainer, a guy that I used to personal train worked at Knight Capital. He was actually not there when this happened. He actually, he works at Goldman Sachs now. But very smart guy. Let me tell you, very intelligent guy. He was a market maker. He was into coding. And if someone that smart can make a mistake that is this powerful, that would tell you that you should never ever have a completely automated system. Now, with that being said, right, anyone can make a mistake. However, when your mistake costs your firm $500 million, your resume is not going to look too good probably for the rest of your life. So whoever coded that might not be able to work ever again, okay? Because you're never going to live that type of mistake down, no matter how smart of a guy you are. You can go to, whatever school you want afterwards. You can get your PhD. You can get whatever you think is the way to bounce back from that. There really is no bouncing back, since you lost that firm more money than you could ever make back in your lifetime, unless you become a billionaire. And then if you become a billionaire, you might be able to pay them back. But, I mean, think about how much money that is. if these people had the ability to become billionaires, they probably wouldn't be coding for that firm. Either that, or, you know, anybody can make a mistake. Billionaires make mistakes. Extremely gifted coders, extremely gifted portfolio managers, they all make mistakes. However, when you make a mistake that costly, it's very hard to bounce back, okay? If you add to the fact that that $440 million was probably borrowed with some type of interest, now you see that that $440 million mistake could probably be many billions of dollars. You ever I'm sorry, I see this stuff, it disappears so quickly. Periscope needs to keep stuff up about another half second. And that would be the difference between me catching some of these comments and not. I should probably complain to them. But, yeah. I don't recommend a fully automated trading system, okay? The trading systems that I employ are automated, but when it comes time to pull the trigger for a trade, that is a discretionary decision based upon whether or not I like the setup, because I've spent so much time in the market, I can see the probability, even though the system says that there might be a trade there, I still determine that based upon discretionary basis on whether or not to pull the trigger, what my other positions are, and etc. But yeah, are there funds that do completely automated? Yes, and the guys that run them are still sitting in front of the computer all day looking at what's happening to make sure there's no mistakes. Auto trader. Yeah, you know, these systems take a long time to develop. The system that I'm running right now took me 8 years to develop. You know, and probably 3 years of that was testing, but the 5 years prior there's a lot of trial and error. Yes, I do use candlestick patterns. However, I would say that candlestick patterns are not a way that you base all of your trades. You never use one indicator to base your trades. Would you make money other than this? I'm an investor. I have my own startup in health and fitness, but obviously I'm focusing on this right now because I see that there is a lot of potential. So, you know, what you do to make money should always be based upon your ability to game a system. So when you have an opportunity, sometimes you have to put everything on hold in your life to capture the opportunity, because opportunities don't come so often. So if you find an opportunity in what's called a net positive game, okay, a positive expectation game, and whatever it is, you should really consider changing your life to accommodate that. Awesome. Keep hustling. I'm going to hop off in a little bit. I will update you guys on whether or not I will take the long position that is shown, that the system is showing right now. We're at about 1243 in the Euro USD cross. If you are playing conservative, thanks Kurt, if you are playing conservative, if you took a short position earlier, now would be the time to consider taking some of the profits off the table. Like I said, we're at 80 pips up from Friday. There's no reason to try and ride this out. Thank you. There's no reason to try and ride this out another 10 or 20 pips, you know, because obviously 80 pips in one day is a pretty damn good killing. And you need to know when it's time to take off the table. I haven't seen Bail Buddy scope. Bail Buddy, what do you scope about? Go ahead, give yourself an introduction. Awesome. Awesome. Which markets are you trading? I'll give you a follow. Oh, I can't follow while I'm in here, I think. Wealth management. Let me see if I can follow. Yeah, oh. Awesome. I just followed you. USD JPY? Cool. So yeah, guys. Right now, if anybody caught my prior scopes on Friday, if you guys were in a position, now would be the time to either take half of your position off or come out of it completely and wait and see how this long signal that just popped off in the system. Wait and see. Thank you for the hearts. Appreciate it. Guys, thank you for the hearts. Thank you for the invites. I don't think people realize how much it means to other people when you give hearts and when you share. To me, that is like giving me a high five. That's like giving me a hug. So am I going long now? How much am I worth? Not enough. Not enough. A lot more than other people, but I don't think I'll ever be satisfied with any type of number, because for me, it's about hitting certain goals. And if I don't hit those goals, it doesn't matter what's in the bank account. I will likely go long at this position just because I will put probably about a 20 pip risk on this position. Right now, system has fired off long. And like I said, we have that nice floor. We have a lot of price action that's going to be supporting this level right here at 1245. We could dip back down into about 1220-ish, but that's why I'm putting that 20 pip risk. If we go less than 1220, obviously the floor has broken. There's no support there, and once that support breaks, it's very likely to accelerate downward, because like I said, when the Fed causes, let me just show you something really. This volatility right here, guys, when the Fed causes this is not based on supply and demand, okay? The volatility is based upon risk on, risk off for positions that banks and institutions have. So, is this likely to pop here? Yes, system has said this is a position of strength. However, we could get a turn downward, and if we go through this support here, it's likely to return to our supply-demand curve, and our next position where we have support would be somewhere around 1125 or 1100 flat. That's this area here. Okay? So we just need to be aware of that. If we're going to be taking a long trade, you've got to really place your risk on it and realize that the long from this point at 1245, 1240-ish could be a short-lived response, all right, where people are not switching the trend, they're just taking profits from the short position. Maybe they're following my trade from Friday and they say, hey man, 80 pips, we're short from 1318, let's just take the money. Let's just take our 80 pips. You know, that's 80 pips is more than most people will make in an entire week of Forex trading. For the most part, most people do not take 80 pips net every single week. And if you do it in one day, you got to give yourself a hug. Give yourself some self-love and take the money off the table. Go read a book. Go do something else. Because if you're killing it on a daily basis, there's no reason to get cocky about it. A lot of people overtrade. They have one win, they go for two, they go for three, and they don't know when to kind of pull it back and say, I've won. What am I doing right? What am I doing wrong? You got to have instances where you check yourself and where you have a conversation with yourself, whether you're doing very good trading or bad. Right, Bill, buddy? A lot of people, if they keep winning, they just think it's going to continue. It is not true. You could just be on a streak. It happens. Streaks both ways for winning and losing do occur, but it's great to set intervals where, hey man, if you make a 50 or 100 pip winner, you need to take a day off and you need to go over your notes and examine why you took the trade, why you did not take the trade, etc., and really take notes, so this way you can look back and see what your thought process was upon the entry, what your risk was, what you were thinking of in terms of every single strategy that you were thinking of. Now obviously if I'm trading a system, I don't necessarily have to go through all the steps of what I was thinking. I can just say, hey, because I know what my system is based off of, I know exactly why the trade was taken. So for each trader, you will have your own process. However, I would highly recommend that you do develop a process that is specific to your trading style. And make it you, man. This is like you standing in front of a bar getting ready to lift some weight. You want to have your process This is your routine, okay? And so make it a great routine and get into the routine of reviewing your trades, especially if you make a big win. Review why you won. Review your convictions. Review exactly what your thought process was along that trade, right? You guys get the point with that. But I will tell you this. Beginning traders do not take enough notes, and I did not take enough notes. My learning curve would have been a lot faster if I took notes early on. And so if you're a beginning trader, that's what you need to do. You're probably making that mistake and not taking enough notes yourself. Get into a conversation with yourself. When it comes to trading, get into a conversation with yourself. You can tell that there's a few alerts going off in my system. Right. Make it your process. If you think you can commit your thought process to 100% memory, you are wrong. You are wrong. You cannot commit your thought process to 100% memory, no matter how good of a trader you are, no matter how logical you are. Bail Buddy, thank you for sharing. I appreciate that. I need to hop on one of your scopes. So that is it for tonight. That is it for the update. We're at 1246. We're currently long. We switched our short position. We took our 83, about 80, 83 pips off the table, and now we're going long. However, the caveat is this. We're placing a stop at about 1220, guys. If it goes down to 1220 and we get taken out of that position, it's nothing to be ashamed of. We lose 20 pips. We're still in that 60 pips. However, if it does go down to 1220, you can bet very likely to go beyond that. And that will keep us from harming ourselves. Have built-in stops that keep you from harming yourself. Okay? Use risk reward for your profits. I will see you guys on the next scope. And as I said, we are long 1246 Euro USD cross, and I will be updating you maybe even tonight. We'll see what the movement is like. At 2 a.m. I will be up when the markets in Asia open. I will be up. Thanks, Bail Buddy. I appreciate it. I appreciate it. The best thing that you can do is try to add value to the world, and that is what I'm doing right now, because obviously it comes back. Obviously it comes back. Thanks, bro. Appreciate that. So I think I followed. Yeah, I did follow you. I didn't know you could follow while you were giving a scope, but I think it worked. Any questions before I get offline, guys? Any questions before I get offline? Do this all in a row. All right, yeah, man. You know, like I said, it's gonna be based upon if I see you guys. If you guys want to see more of it, I'd love to give you as much of my brain as possible. Alberto is my homie. But if you have anything specific, reach out to me on Twitter, #FitBusinessman or hashtag. The system, I gave it a name today, guys. I'm going to call it FX Prime. That's just the name I'm giving it. So #FX Prime or #FitBusinessman. And I check those tweets all the time. So just reach out to me. Or on Snapchat, FitBusinessman is my handle on, yep, FX Prime. FitBusinessman is my handle on Snapchat. And, of course, Instagram. You can DM me on Instagram. I read everything, guys. All right? I like Gary Vaynerchuk. He says read everything. And so I will interact with you guys. If you guys send out a shout, it might take me 24 hours. I got a lot of shit on my table right now. However, I will reach out to you. I will get back to you with a specific answer. Gary V's the man. I love that guy. I need to go and tackle him and take him out to dinner and just thank him for, you know, all the things that he's done for me in terms of just changing the mindset. The best thing that you can invest in is your mindset. If anyone tells you anything different, they're full of shit. Yeah, man. If you want to team up, just shoot me an idea. And I will tell you this, though. Right now, I am extremely busy. I got a bunch of stuff on my plate between my startup and coding algorithms. I'm basically a code monkey for probably the next month. Muscle Farm. I have no experience with the company, but I know who they are. You know, they're a supplement company. That's all I know as of right now. But I have a couple friends I think use Muscle Farm creatine and stuff like that. But I don't personally use many supplements. I rely on food for Basically, all of my gains, so to speak, rely on whole food for the gains. All right, guys? So, anything else? R9. Hey, guys, you know what? There's 5 people in this room right now, but I want you to know that I'm speaking to you 5 as if we were around a table and we were all going into the Forex market together to make gains, because even if it ends up being 40 people or 400 people, I'm going to want to treat you guys on a first name basis. And so I appreciate all the hearts. I appreciate you guys reaching out. Musical Soul. I'm getting offline, but you can check the replay. Yes, we all got. And there's plenty to go around, guys. $5.5 trillion being traded in the Forex market. I'm pretty sure everybody in this room could make $1 million and no one would even notice it's missing. So that's another thing to think about. That's one of the things I think about in terms of abundance. $1 million is nothing in this market. 10 million is nothing in this market, right? 10 million is really nothing in this market. So that's something that we should remind ourselves of, that currency is being printed every single day. So why not go into our pockets, right? If the Fed is going to print it, I should be getting my share. And the reason that we believe that is because we believe in abundance, and we believe that there's plenty to go around, and technology will always create more abundance. And that is just the way that the world is going. Hoorah! J Dig, what's up? So, all right, guys. I'm not going to keep you any longer. It's 10:57, so 11 p.m. Like I said, we're going long 12:45. We're keeping a very tight stop on that, though. 12:20 is going to be our placement for that possible downside move that might occur after we get a little bump here. This bump, I think, will continue because people, like I said, are taking their profits on that 80 pip win. But it's always a double-edged sword. Be careful on the downside. Taking along now is still technically counter trend, okay? The trend up to this point has been down. So if we take a long position right now, it's technically counter trend. And if you call counter trend trades, make sure you have a tight stop, because that is how most newbies kill themselves. Never try to call counter trend if you're a newbie, okay? Unless you have some type of algorithm that is telling you that it could be a counter trend, the fastest way to kill yourself as a new trader is to try and call counter trend. Don't do that. Always go with the trend, especially if you're a newbie. That is my speech. All right, guys. Hustle mode is on. I just got done with my workout. I'm actually going to get some food. I will see you guys in the next scope. Thank you for joining. I appreciate it.